Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Ranjana. Gopi Jana Vallabha Kunja.
Oh my god, I'm messing up. I'm sorry. Give me the sheet. I'm so sorry. Give me the sheet. Okay, can I give the sheet? Yeah. No, let Aniket sing. Let Aniket sing.
I'm getting really scared.
Tathaga?
No.
It's not very appropriate to ask to leave.
Okay, I'll do it.
We ask
Here you go. We have the sheet.
I'm so sorry, bro. This is...
But yeah, so everyone knows, etiquette is not to ask to leave the kirtan. Etiquette is to be asked to leave the kirtan.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Thank you so much, Aniket Prabhu. Jayam Vishnu Pad Paramhamsa Parvikacharya Ashtar Shashi Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Chair Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnu Pad Paramhamsa Parvikacharya Ashtar Shashi Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Ko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories Shri Prabhupada. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Adirayat Nashta Praisa Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavat Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this morning we'll be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 16, texts 10 to 19. So I'll read the translation by myself, and then we can chant text 18, 19. So text 10. Once when Paraśurāma left the ashram for the forest with Vasuman and his other brothers, the sons of Kartivirya took the opportunity to approach Jagad Agni's residence to seek vengeance for their grudge. Text 11. The sons of Kartivirya were determined to commit sinful deeds. Therefore, when they saw Jamad Agni sitting by the side of the fire to perform yajna and meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is praised by the best of selected prayers, they took the opportunity to kill him. Text 12. With pitiable prayers, Renuka, the mother of Paraśurāma and the wife of Jamadagni, begged for the life of her husband. But the sons of Kartivirya, being devoid of the qualities of Kshatriyas, were so cruel that despite her prayers, they forcibly cut off his head and took it away. Text 13. Lamenting in grief for the death of her husband, the most chaste Renuka struck her own body with her hands and cried very loudly, "O Ram, my dear son Ram." Text 14. Although the sons of Jamadagni, included Lord Paraśurāma, were a long distance from home, as soon as they heard Renuka loudly calling, "O Ram, O my son," they hastily returned to the ashram, where they saw their father already killed. Text 15. Virtually bewildered by grief, anger, indignation, affliction, and lamentation, the sons of Jamadagni cried, "O Father, most religious saintly person, you have left us and gone to the heavenly planets." Text 16. Thus lamenting, Lord Paraśurāma entrusted his father's dead body to his brothers and personally took up his axe, having decided to put an end to all the Kshatriyas on the surface of the world. Text 17. O king, Lord Paraśurāma then went to Mahishmati, which was already doomed by the sinful killing of a Brahmana. In the midst of that city, he made a mountain of heads severed from the bodies of the sons of Kartivirya. So text 18 and 19. Trishapta Kritvaha Prithivim Kritva Nikishastyam Prabhu Samanta Panchake Chakre Sonitodan Hradan Nava. Okay. Trishapta Kritva Prithivim Kritva Nichatriyam Prabhu Samanta Panchake Chakra. Oh, sorry, I read 19. Okay, perfect. Shonito Dan Shradanava Trishapta Kritva Prithivim Kritva Nikal Kshatriyam Prabhu Samanta Panchake Chakre Shonito Dan Shradanava Trishapta Kritva Prithivim Kritvani Chatriyam Prabhu Samanta Panchake Chakre Shonito Dan Shradanava. else would like to chant? Aniket Prabhu, would you like to chant? Mataji, would you like to try? Anyone online would like to chant? Okay. Tri Sapta Kritvaha 21 times. Pritivim, the entire world. Kritva, making. Nikishni Chatriyam, without a Kshatriya dynasty. Prabhu, the Supreme Lord. Paraśurāma, Samanta Panchake, at the place known as Samanta Panchaka. Chakre, he made. Shonita Udan, filled with blood instead of water. Shraddhan, lakes. Nava, 9. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. With the blood of the bodies of these sons, Lord Paraśurāma created a ghastly river, which brought great fear to the kings, who had no respect for Brahminical culture. Because the Kshatriyas, the men of power and government, were performing sinful activities, Lord Paraśurāma, on the plea of retaliating for the murder of his father, rid all the Kshatriyas from the face of the earth 21 times. Indeed, in the place known as Samanta Panchaka, he created 9 lakes filled with their blood. Purport. Paraśurāma is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his eternal mission is Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chaduskritam, to protect the devotees and annihilate the miscreants. To kill all the sinful men is one among the tasks of the incarnation of Godhead. Lord Paraśurāma killed all the Kshatriyas 21 times consecutively because they were disobedient to the Brahminical culture. That the Kshatriyas had killed his father was only a plea. The real fact is that because the Kshatriyas, the ruling class, had become polluted, their position was inauspicious. Brahminical culture is enjoined in the Shastra, especially in Bhagavad Gita. Chatur Varnyam Maya Shishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. According to the laws of nature, whether at the time of Paraśurāma or at the present, if the government becomes irresponsible and sinful, not caring for Brahminical culture, there will certainly be an incarnation of God, like Paraśurāma, to create a devastation by fire, famine, pestilence, or some other calamity. Whenever the government disrespects the supremacy of the Personality of Godhead and fails to protect the institution of varṇāśrama-dharma, it will certainly have to face such catastrophes as formerly brought about by Lord Paraśurāma. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusita Devi Pranamami Hare Pre Vancha Kalpatribhischa Kripasandibhi Evacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So there's a sequence of events. So when Paraśurāma and his brothers left ashram to go to the forest, the sons of Kartivir Arjuna, they were looking for revenge. And they did it in a very cowardly way. That's why it says they were devoid of Kshatriya qualities. They found Jamad Agni in meditation and was about to perform yagya. And that's when they decided to commit the deed, to kill Jamad Agni. And the wife, Renuka, was trying her best to convince the sons not to kill, but to spare her husband's life. And since they were devoid of qualities of a Kshatriya, they forcibly cut off his head, despite her prayers. And these sons of Kartivarjuna, they were so ruthless that they didn't even hesitate to kill her husband. And then Renuka loudly cried out for Paraśurāma, and although they were very far away from a distance, they heard their mother calling loudly, and they rushed back to the ashram. And that's when they found their father already dead. So after lamenting Lord Paraśurāma, he entrusted the dead body of their father to his brothers. And then this is when he decided to put an end to all the Kshatriyas. And he took his axe and he caused havoc. He went to Mahishmati, and he severed the heads of the sons of Kartivir Arjuna. And then it says that he created 9 rivers from the blood of the Kshatriyas that he killed 21 times. So Lord Paraśurāma is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his eternal mission is Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chadushkritam, to protect the devotees and to annihilate the miscreants, to kill all the sinful men, and is one of the tasks of the incarnation of Godhead. And this reminds me of the verse in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 7. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati bharata abhyutanam dharmasya tadatmahanam shijamyaham. That yada yada hi dharmasya, whenever and wherever there is a decline or a discrepancy in religion, at that time Krishna descends. When there's two things, when there's a decline in religious practice and then a rise in irreligion. And in Kali Yuga, this is the characteristics of Kali Yuga. In the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes the different modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And towards the last, I'm not remembering the text, but it says that in Kali Yuga, men mistake irreligion to be religion. And they mistake religion to be irreligion. So just like when the devotees began to preach Krishna consciousness, and our principal core beliefs, no meat eating, people think this is irreligion, you know. And one of the biggest arguments is that animals don't have any souls. And according to the Christian mentality, is that we have dominance over animals, and that they're here meant to be our food. When we're going through Maharaj's apartment, I wish I brought one back, but there's a little article, and it talks about vegetarianism in Christianity. And the arguments were actually very nice. So people mistake religion to be irreligion, and then they mistake irreligion to be religion. Srila Prabhupada used this word, cheating religion. And this is what we see today. People often mistake, you can say, violence for religion. We all know that meat is a product of violence. The animal had to lose its life in order for us to satisfy the tongue. And this also reminds me of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's prayer, this ray of Vishnu. So his prayer was that he felt like he needed an assistance in preaching, and he prayed for a powerful son from the spiritual world to help him fulfill Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's worldwide movement. And the answer was Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was considered to be the ray of Vishnu due to his intense scholarship, dedication, and strict adherence to pure devotional service. And then, the aftermath, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur became the guru of our dear Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada ultimately brought this movement to every corner of the world. It's actually amazing, this wonderful ISKCON movement. The places that I was traveling with Maharaj, whether it's Italy, whether it's Hawaii, there was some temple there, and we can take shelter. So Paraśurāma, this is his eternal mission, to protect the devotees and to get rid of the burden, or you can say the atheistic, godless men. And Srila Prabhupada, he would often say that there are two reasons why Krishna comes down himself as an avatar or incarnation. Is to protect the devotees and to, you can say, get rid of the godless people. And Srila Prabhupada says, and you see Lord Vishnu, he holds 4 items in his hands. The conch, the lotus, the club, and the chakra. And the 2, conch and the lotus, they're for the devotees. And the club and the disc, they're for the demons or the atheists. But since the Lord is absolute, killing and liberation or saving is the same. And Srila Prabhupada, he also wanted to establish this varṇāśrama system in which everyone can serve happily according to one's nature and activities. But the problem with today is that everyone wants this classless society, that everyone's the same. So there's a problem with that. We can see there's a division in consciousness or skills within the people. There are people that are naturally bright-minded. They like to think, they like to solve problems, very intelligent. And also there's the saintly class. And then we have those that have a nature of controlling, or actually the duty of a Kshatriya is protecting. It's not just skills or warfare, but to protect the citizens. And then you see people that are naturally about money making. But money making, it should be also used to protect cows, the Vaishyas. And therefore, Lord Krishna, he was born into the Vaishya community, the cowherds. So this shows the importance of protecting cows, cultivating agriculture. And then you see this, the people, the class of men that are naturally, happily inclined to just work with their hands. Srila Prabhupada said in this Kali Yuga, everyone is born as a Shudra. And what makes us qualified is spiritual initiation by a bona fide spiritual master. And according to the laws of nature, whether at the time of Paraśurāma or at the present, if the government becomes irresponsible and sinful, not caring for Brahminical culture, there will certainly be an incarnation of God like Paraśurāma to create a devastation by fire, famine, pestilence, or some other calamity. So Krishna creates the disturbances like fire, shortage or scarcity of food, and epidemic or pandemic diseases, and other calamities. So these are the results of sinful actions by the people. And who is to blame? It says here the government. Because the government should be able to lead the people appropriately. An example is Lord Ramchandra, the Lord himself as the king. Everyone was happy, and not only that, but as a king, Lord Ram sacrificed even his own happiness just to set an example for the rest of the ruling class. In regards to this, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was asked by the Yaksha, what is the death of a nation? And his answer was very wonderful. He says the death of a nation is caused by an anarchy, or a government absent of a king, or a good government. And this is a very practical answer. Just like today, there's so much confusion, chaos, unhappiness in the world today. And it's due to a bad government. Srila Prabhupada, he would always remind us the reason for the Mahabharata was that Krishna wanted to establish Yudhishthira Maharaj, the emperor of the world, because he knew that Yudhishthira Maharaj was Dharma personification himself. Not only that, but he was a great devotee. He was able to engage the citizens in Krishna conscious activities, and then they can be liberated. So whenever the government disrespects the supremacy of the personality of Godhead and fails to protect the institution of varṇāśrama-dharma, they will certainly have to face such catastrophes. So, there's a discussion about why is there so much chaos in the world today, and this is due to the people's activities not being properly trained or led by a good king. Srila Prabhupada, he would use the example that if the children are not very good, sometimes the father is to be blamed. Because after all, the parents, they're considered to be the first gurus or teachers of the students. Okay, so that's all I prepared. Are there any discussions on these points?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for your class.
Hare
So
Krishna.
just one point to add. So you mentioned Lord Ramchandra established the kingdom of Ayodhya. So there are two meanings of the word Ayodhya. So it means the city or the kingdom free from any duals, both externally as well as internally in their heart. So I just wanted to add this. Ayodhya as in like free from yudh. So yudh means wars here. And by wars, it is not only meant by wars outside, but also the internal war that everyone has. So in Lord Ramachandra's reign, everyone was happy both externally as well as internally.
Thank you.
The war against Ravana was meant to be the war that ended all wars.
Sorry?
The war that he fought against Ravana, that was the war that ended all wars. That's why Ayodhya.
I'm not sure of that, but Ayodhya particularly meant that, yes. Ram Rajya meant that, yeah.
You know, Srila Prabhupada, he wanted to really try to put into place this varṇāśrama system. But not just, you know, mundane varṇāśrama system, but Daiva varṇāśrama system. I heard one class, Ramapati Prabhu, he made a really nice contribution. He said that since Vaishnavas are transcendental, he can be a Brahmin in the morning, worshipping the deities. During the day, a Vaishya, you know, going out, distributing books, collecting Lakshmi for the temple. And then in the end, he can take activities of a Shudra, cleaning the bathroom, the kitchen, like that. So the devotee, we should aspire for that. And we shouldn't be thinking, you know, I'm a Brahmin, I'm a Kshatriya. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he refused to classify himself in any of these. So that was really nice. Ramapati Prabhu. Where did you get that? Oh, you just thought of it? Okay.
Actually, yeah, I've heard that passed around. I wonder what the origin is.
Well, somebody told me one of Prabhupada's disciples, when he first went to Mayapur.
Sorry, can you give him the mic?
One of Prabhupada's disciples told me when he first went to Mayapur, he saw Jayapataka Maharaj dipped in a septic tank cleaning. So he was surprised. It's like, oh, later on he was giving class. And then he saw him managing and the whole temple. So he was telling me that story, how he saw Jayapataka Maharaj in his cleaning septic tank early days. And then he's plowing the field, you know, it's like there's a picture of him plowing the field in Mayapur. So he used to do that, and then it's like managing the temples. He said Vaishnavas can do anything, whatever is required.
Yeah, Maharaj would often say, do the needful. And so, just like, you know, we had a thing in the bathroom, and Kavir Raj Prabhu, he said, who's going to clean this, you know? And I said, I'll clean it. You know? So I went up there and I did it. But anyway, whatever was needed, because it needed to be cleaned. And then, you know, for the brahmacharis to live peacefully in the bathroom, using the bathroom. So yeah, devotees should be expert, and they should show good character. I think it was Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or maybe Sramananda Roy and Sanatana Goswami. He said that a devotee should preach nicely and behave nicely. It's not that he is very learned, but then his behavior is very not nice. So devotees should behave nicely and preach nicely, and then together they can make more devotees.
Who can use the mic?
So the one should preach and behave nicely. So prachar and achar. Achar is the root of the word acharya. Acharya is one who, three things. He knows the Shastra, he follows the rules of the Shastra, and he preaches the Shastra. Three things, acharya.
Thank you so much.
I also wanted to make one comment. I'm really missing Maharaj's Sunday morning yajna, where he would get all those flowers and then decorate the deities. So, Ananda, you would often help him with that. I'm sorry?
Govardhana's doing that now.
Oh, are you doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried picking as much flowers.
I
guess
I guess it's not.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't, it just seemed like,
That's
not-
okay.
like they look beautiful, of course.
In Burma, one brahmachari that was helping and serving Maharaj, his name is Priya Gopinath Prabhu. And yeah, he said when he saw Maharaj, he was thinking, oh, sannyasi, and then he learned quickly. He learned quickly what to do and what not to do. So then he said, I really appreciated Maharaj because I've never seen a sannyasi like that, very strong, Not only that, but how Maharaj didn't want any help, especially putting on his shoes. As soon as the devotees would open the door, Maharaj's shoes would be off. And then the first thing they grabbed Maharaj's shoes. And with Maharaj's cane, he would swing, say, don't touch, and then he would put it on himself and then ask me for a spray bottle. So he said he appreciated Maharaj's example that sadhu doesn't just mean, shanti shanti, but he knows the scriptures and also behaves accordingly to the people. So we should preach nicely and behave nicely. Anything else? Yes, Nanda Vrindavan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In this pastime, we see Paraśurāma ji is there, but we see that Paraśurāma ji is there in Ramchandra's pastime also, which is like during the bow breaking ceremony. And we also see that he is during Krishna's pastime also when I think Bhishmadev fought.
Yeah, he's
So, and from Bhagavatam we know that it is like Krishna Leela and Ram Leela is like millions of years apart. So how does he is there in both the Leelas? Is there like any planet of him where he goes back and comes back, and when he comes back, the time is, dilate, like time passes, a lot of time has passed away. Is it something like that? Or is there any...
I know I've heard this before, that Lord Paraśurāma, he was involved in a lot of different Leelas, both Ramchandra and Krishna Leela. But I'm not sure where he stays or if his, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe someone can...
Later in this chapter it says that he's still present to this day on the planet, that he is... Where is it? Continent known as Mahendra? Okay. Yeah, so somehow he has, it's like, who are the others like that? Daksha's like that, Vyasadev's like that, where they're... Hanuman, yeah. So, yeah, later text 26.
Ashwatthama is still around.
Text 26, yeah.
And
So
they
Lord,
become
so it wraps up the chapter that, just text 26. Lord Paraśurāma still lives as an intelligent Brahmana in the mountainous country known as Mahendra. Yeah. But he's completely satisfied having given up all the weapons of a Kshatriya. So don't worry. Not that we have any Kshatriyas around here, but he has always worshipped, adored, and offered prayers for his exalted character and activities by such celestial beings as the Siddhas, Charanas, and Gandharvas. One thing is, I'm forgetting, and maybe it was really outlined here in this chapter, I'm forgetting, but because in this pastime you see a lot of, what are seen as overreactions. Like we were saying yesterday, how Jamadagni said that about Paraśurāma for killing Kartavirajana, and then Jamadagni said that to Paraśurāma, and then Jamadagni also later we see is overreacted. But then after that, then Paraśurāma, it looks like that pastime with Dhruva, where his brother's killed by the yakshas, and then he responds, so he retaliates. He starts killing the yakshas, but then he goes beyond that. He doesn't just kill the yakshas who deserved it. He keeps killing and killing and killing, and so this looks something like that. That he starts killing. He doesn't just kill the sons of Kartavirajana. He kills all the Kshatriyas. And does it say for is there any critique of that as being excessive? It doesn't, as far as I see, it's not. I mean, and in today's purport, right, it was saying that on the pretense, maybe that's later, but on the pretense of just retaliation, he actually killed all the Kshatriyas, not because he was, but then it seemed like not because he was just overreacting, like another Dhruva pastime, where Manu actually stopped him and he was right to stop him, but
but because it seemed like it was just like a big angry overreaction, but actually it was because they needed to be wiped out because they were corrupt, not because they all deserved it based on his father's death. Does that seem accurate?
It also mentioned how they were polluted.
They're polluted. Yeah,
polluted, and everything that they were doing were inauspicious.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably needed.
Because the Jamada, some purports back when Paraśurāma killed Kartavya-Arjuna, or no, maybe just when I spoke yesterday, in there when Srila Prabhupada saying that even because he was a Brahmana, and even his father saying, hey, he was a Brahmana, he shouldn't have killed him, he's saying even though Paraśurāma was a Shaktivesh avatar, he's saying still he got some reaction, because after all, there was a slight, it wasn't really offensive, but it was a Brahmana, so there was some reaction to that. So it seems that even there was something, but here doesn't seem like I'm not saying any fault as far as I'm saying. That's
I didn't read anything that was criticizing Paraśurāma's behavior.
Also, the way we talk about Paraśurāma is interesting too, because you don't speak about any other Shaktivesh avatars saying that they got a reaction, for their pastimes in that form, as far as I can think of, and maybe you could think of.
I think Krishna was cursed by.
Even Chaitanya, you could say he's cursed in a certain way. And it's like, okay, so, but it's not really. It's like his own arrangement. So maybe you could say that's similar with Paraśurāma. It's interesting just to word it like that. But the other thing is, when we bring up Shaktivesh avatar nowadays, we bring up how Prabhupada is Shaktivesh avatar. But one interesting thing is that, like, are there different categories of Shaktivesh avatar? Because the way we talked about some Shaktivesh avatars, at least the way Srila Prabhupada talks about Shaktivesh avatars, he'll just say, this is God. We don't typically refer to Prabhupada as God. We don't just say, because Prabhupada's God, therefore this. But when it comes to other Shaktivesh avatars, we'll say, well, because Paraśurāma is God, therefore this. Are there different categories of Shaktivesh avatar? Or maybe is it just because we're distant enough that we're not going to, I don't know. Any thoughts on that?
I know there's like the avatars, and I think Paraśurāma is considered to be the Shaktivesh avatar, but also at the same time he's one of the 12.
Yeah, at least he's in one of the 10, like that 10 main one that Jayadeva Goswami sings about. But that's something interesting to me. I was thinking about today. That do we only say that with certain like who are the other ones? Prithu. I mean, it's also sometimes like Prithu. There, it's like it's not even so. It seems like the wording sometimes is a little unclear when we're talking about is he Shaktivesh or not. I thought it was like a little, but as soon as you say is Shaktivesh in one case, okay, he's got to be. Mm-hmm. It seems like then even other places where he's just saying he's like directly God, fully God or something.
I think sometimes so there will be like the portions of the planetary, like
plenary portions. Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, because it seems like usually when we say plenary portion, as soon as you say plenary, it's full. It's like it's like full. So the full potency portion, So plenary portion is like no less than the original portion. So like they also be like all Vishnu Tattva. So then when we start talking about Shaktivesh avatars, who are the main ones we think about in Bhagavatam? Who? Oh, really? Okay, so the 4 Kumaras are Shaktivesh avatar. Paraśurāma, we talk about in Bhagavatam. Vyasadeva, that's another one, yeah. Where even there, sometimes the wording is interesting. Or at least, yeah. Paraśurāma, Prithu. Others in Bhagavatam? I thought Kapiladev was like Vishnu Tattva, not... Oh, am I wrong? Yeah. Can we think of any others that are there in Bhagavatam? Narada Muni. Okay, yeah, so okay. Yeah, so Narada Muni, we never the wording is never ambiguous when it comes to Narada Muni, But when it comes to Paraśurāma, when it comes to Prithu even, Vedavyas. Oh yeah, Rishabhadev also. Yeah, Rishabhadev also. Yeah. Is he Shaktivesh or not? Because it seems like in one of the purports when it's talking about how even his feces smell like roses, it seems to be, I thought that it was indicating that that's because he's like Krishna, like he's God. And it's like not like any Shaktivesh avatar have like all of their bodies and all the components smelling like roses or something. So that's an interesting one, Rishabhadev also, because I think they seem to be.
There's one point, there's one verse where he says, I forget the Sanskrit now, but it says if one thinks of me, Vasudeva, then you can go back to Godhead. So he's identifying there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, just something in my mind. I'm not really fleshed out or anything.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you for your time and attention. Grant
So I have a
Shrimad.
question.
Yes?
Prabhu, in the purport it says that if the Lord can incarnate to destroy the Kshatriyas, if Kshatriya rulers are not favorable to the Brahmanas, right? In Kali Yuga, right, in present age, that's happening every time. Does it mean that there will be incarnation of Lord or Paraśurāma coming again to destroy the Kshatriya race?
Yeah,
Is this being indicated?
This age is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Tapas is saying how if there's a bad government, there's an incarnation of the Lord. So he's asking, since there's a bad government now, is there such an incarnation? So I said, yes, in this age. So in this age, it's pointed out that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that hidden avatar for this Kali Yuga. And the Sankirtan movement is the means, and chanting the Hare Krishna and getting others to congregational chanting is the weapons that he's using in this age. It's more like a, peaceful, most magnanimous and magnificent incarnation of this Kali Yuga.
And I think it's also said the holy name is an incarnation. In this holy name.
The holy name, everything. Is that okay, Tapas?
Yes, Prabhu, fantastic.
Okay, thank you for asking. Grant Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.